After 4.5 years in charge of West Ham United Football Club, David Moyes is going to leave once his contract runs out at the end of the season. This marks the end of a fantastic and successful tenure for the Scot, who managed 231 Premier League games and will do once his contract runs out, and a manager who guided West Ham to its first major trophy in 43 years. As a result of his departure, West Ham has moved to look for his replacement and is close to appointing former Spain, Real Madrid and Wolverhampton Wanderers manager Julen Lopetegui at the London Stadium. This marks the first time in 4 years, 4.5 years actually, that West Ham has had to look for a new manager. It's going to bring around a lot of change for this club. Although the reactions to the news have been both positive and negative, there is not really any reason to be totally against the changes. In this video, I'm going to explain my thoughts on what could be considered imminent appointment of Lopetegui. David Moyes' time at West Ham United will be reviewed, and I give my thoughts on the club moving forward, as well as some reminiscing as well. And there may be a few more videos to discuss David Moyes' time here, because I could go on for hours about what he'd done at this club. But I can only condense this into one small video, and that's what I'm going to do for this particular video. I'm going to talk about the past, the situation now, and what the future might hold with a new manager. It is a very sad day, in all honesty, and it is quite sad to see that David Moyes will be leaving this club. I want to start by saying that I wish David the best of luck in the future, and I have nothing but gratitude for everything that he did for this club in the 4.5 years. This was his second spell at West Ham United. Having previously managed the club in the 2017-18 season and guiding the Hammers to Premier League safety, he returned to the club after the sacking of Manuel Pellegrini in late 2019. He returned to the club and said that he wanted to build something. And that is exactly what he did. Some fantastic memories were made along the way. Anything from European away days, to breaking point tallies, to obviously winning silverware. That's going to be Moyes' crowning achievement at this club, is the fact that he brought home a trophy. Not only that, it was a European trophy as well. Something that the majority of fans, and especially in my generation, have not seen. Honestly, his time at West Ham has been a difficult one at times, not at least because of things on and off the pitch. He's had to deal with players leaving, transfers not working out. He's had to deal with the tight-fisted owners and a lack of spending. But there's always been something that he's wanted to do at this club, and that's that he's wanted to punch above his weight and show his worth. This man spent 11 years at Everton, and Everton became a European qualifying club for many seasons. He guided Everton to FA Cup semi-finals and finals. He managed in Spain, something that the likes of coaches such as John Tossack and Tossack managed in Spain. Other British coaches went over there as well to manage too. I know that Brian Robson did as well. And he ticked off something that he wanted to do, which was manage in another country. He did just that. Came back to England. He just spent a lot of time studying football and eventually landed a job at West Ham United. In all honesty, West Ham was probably quite a good fit for him in a lot of ways. It was a club with a big fan base and a infrastructure that could be developed by him. With the right coaching staff, people such as Stuart Pearce and Alan Irvine notably, he was able to build a team that was consistently good. This wasn't a West Ham side that just had one good season and that was it. West Ham qualified for Europe 3 seasons in a row and reached the knockout stages in every single season. That in itself is praiseworthy, and you can't tell me that it's not. Unfortunately, this season has been quite a struggle for him. Despite a promising start, things did not go well after January, and the indications were that he was not going to stay around with his contract set to expire in the first place. This opened the door for opportunities for new managers to potentially come in. And now that the news has been made official, it has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein and Jacob Steinberg that Julen Lopetegui is going to be the man to replace David Moyes. Talks are well advanced. Tim Steidten had flown out to Spain to speak to the 57-year-old about the job vacancy. And it seems like Lopetegui is going to put pen to paper and become West Ham's managers for next season. Lopetegui was not exactly the most favourable appointment, in all honesty. And I know a lot of fans have shown a lot of hostility and negativity towards this, going as far as to set up a petition to get him out of the club. This mirrors what AC Milan fans did. They signed a petition to deter him from going to Italy to coach in Serie A. And I suppose, in a way, they got what they wanted because he's not going there. Lopetegui was even in talks to replace Thomas Tuchel at Bayern Munich. And that brings me on to my first big point. If Lopetegui has rejected AC Milan and Bayern Munich in favour of West Ham because he sees a bigger project at West Ham, that in itself is quite a big positive. We must have a draw to us to make him want to come. I could speak about West Ham being in the Premier League and how coaches always say that it's the best league in the world, but I think that would be too much of a cliche or just sounding like a broken record. It sounds repetitive when coaches say that. Or even to talk about how West Ham's got a big stadium or is a big club. You don't want to keep having managers repeat that. And once he gets his first press conference out of the way, we'll get an indication of what he feels about the club and how he wants to proceed. He's already got plans, apparently, for next season as well. The second point I want to make is that there had been fears that Steidten and Noble would walk out of the club and leave if Lopetegui was appointed. But here is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Steidten was the man who spearheaded the talks with our manager-elect. He's the one who wants to lead the project with him. So that says something as well. I'm overall excited to have a new manager in charge because I want to see how different things are going to be. The key to success in the long run might not be too far away, but then again, Lopetegui and Steidten have to put in the work. They have to really look at what they want to do in the summer and proceed with that. Maybe we focus on more homegrown players, and Lopetegui, by the way, is known to like the Championship as a league. Then we have to do that. If we have to look abroad in other countries that may not even be on the radar, then we can do that as well. If Stein has to take another trip out to Brazil, so be it. Overall, it allows for a change in the club and maybe a change in the way we do things behind the scenes. Stein is expected to get more control of recruitment, and Lopetegui is going to take a bit more of a step back in that sense and focus on solely managing the players and the team and preparing for games. This gives Stein more control of the club, which is what will probably keep him around as well. Noble, as well, would have probably had a say in this too. In fact, no, I'm pretty convinced he would have had a say in it, because he has got a role to play in the club too. I think that the Lopetegui appointment isn't the worst thing on the planet, to be honest with you. And honestly, he hasn't even managed a game yet, people. So why are you all throwing him under the bus? Give him some time. Pressure's going to be on for him to get results immediately, but we need to give him a chance. With Wolves, he took that team from bottom of the league to 13th, and Wolves obtained around 30 points and finished above West Ham last season. He didn't do terribly. He managed Sevilla, Spain, Real Madrid. He worked in recruitment at Real Madrid as well. I have to do a separate video on breaking down Lopetegui's career because I don't want to drone on too much in this. But he's proven that he has some experience coaching in Spain, which he can then translate to the British side of things. The English Premier League may as well be one of those very leagues in which he translates his own ideas. I want to see how this guy can do. And then I'll be able to make any criticisms or praise, and even judgments in general. It is a sad day, but the more fans think about it, the more they warm to the change. I'm going to miss David Moyes, on all honesty. I really will. He's been the best manager of my time supporting West Ham. We've had some fantastic results. We've stood on the shoulders of giants, both at home and abroad. We've gotten worldwide attention under him. He's finally gotten the respect that he deserves. People are not just looking at that ill-fated tenure at Manchester United. People aren't just looking at the fact that he got relegated with Sunderland anymore. He's gone to West Ham and he's shown that he can be a good manager, that he can be successful, and that he's not just a manager who encourages drudgery and boring football. It might not be the kind of football that everyone agrees with, but that's fine. He doesn't mind that. I don't know what's going to be next for him. Maybe he comes back into management after a short break. Who knows? Who knows? But all we need to do now is give him a proper send-off for the final home game of the season. Don't have your banners out. Don't have your GSB out banners. Don't have your Moyes out banners. Give him the send-off he deserves. It's a case of goodbye, David. Ola Hulen. And we embrace the change and we see what can come of this. I'll end it off by saying this. Thank you, David Moyes. I wish you all the best.